Here are 5 super hard businesses to avoid if you're starting out in 2026. Not every business is worth building, so pick carefully. Some businesses sound good on paper, but they'll drain your bank account, destroy your sanity, and leave you wondering why you ever left your day job in the first place. I've been in this game for 14 years, and I've watched so many people crash and burn because they picked the wrong business model from the jump. Before I break down these 5 businesses, here's the real reason they fail. It's not overhead or competition. It's that they can't control who gets the customers. When you can solve that problem, you're solving what kills most businesses. That's what I teach in my digital leasing business model. I'm making over $41,000 a month with this system, and thousands of my students are using it to create financial freedom and change their own lives. If you want to learn how to do the same, I have a free training that teaches you my processes. The link is in the description. Now let me walk you through these 5 businesses to avoid. Business number 5, e-commerce product businesses. This one sounds amazing on paper. You find a product on Alibaba and then you brand it. Then you sell it on Amazon or Shopify while running some Facebook ads, and then boom, right? All of a sudden, you're making money while you sleep. Except it doesn't work like that. You want to know the reality? Product margins are getting slimmer every single year because everybody's doing the same thing. You're competing with thousands of other sellers offering the exact same product, and the only way to win is to lower your price and spend more on ads. And speaking of ads, Facebook and Google ads costs are through the roof right now. What used to cost 50 cents per click now costs $2 to $5 a click. Your customer acquisition cost is eating your profit margins alive. On top of that, you've got inventory risk. You order 1,000 units hoping that they're going to sell, and if they don't, you're stuck with a garage full of products with no cash flow. And let me talk about Amazon for a second. If you're selling on their platform, they control everything. They can change the algorithm on you overnight. They can suspend your account. They can undercut you with their own private label versions of your product, which they're doing to millions of people right now. And if you're relying on them for 80% of your revenue, you're one policy change away from just going out of business. E-commerce can work, but it's not the passive income dream that people think it is. Business number 4, retail stores. Opening a retail store, maybe it's a boutique or a specialty shop, or maybe you found a product that you love and you think that other people will love it too. Well, here's the problem. Amazon exists. Walmart exists. Target exists. And unless you're selling something incredibly niche and then offering an experience people can't get online, then you're fighting an uphill battle. Retail margins are shrinking every year, while foot traffic is down and commercial rent just keeps going up. And you're competing with e-commerce giants that can undercut your prices and deliver faster than you ever could. On top of that, you got inventory risk. So you buy products hoping that they're going to sell. And if they don't, you're stuck with the dead stock that's costing you money and just sitting on the shelf in your garage. And let's not forget theft and seasonal slowdowns. Plus, you're tied to a physical location, guys. If that location doesn't work out, you're starting over from scratch. I've seen too many retail store owners pour their life savings into a dream, only to close shop 18 months later because they couldn't compete with the internet. Business number 3, franchise businesses. This one surprises people because franchises are supposed to be the safe option. You're buying a proven system, right? You've got brand recognition and training and support. What could go wrong? Here's what they don't tell you. Franchise fees are expensive. You're paying $50,000 to $100,000 or more for the right just to use their name. Then you've got royalty fees, usually 5 to 10% of your gross revenue every single month. Marketing fees on top of that, and you're still responsible for rent and staff and equipment and inventory. So you're starting for $200,000 to $500,000 in the hole before you even make your first dollar. And here's the kicker. You don't own the business. You own yourself a job. The franchise controls everything from the menu to your prices, and you can't innovate or make changes without their approval. If that location doesn't work out, you're stuck. You can't just pick up and move. You signed a lease, you invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now you're bleeding money every single month with no way out. I've seen franchisee owners making less than they would have made managing somebody else's business, and they're carrying all the risks. Business number 2, fitness studios and gyms. This one breaks my heart because so many good people get into this industry with right intentions, They love fitness. They want to help people. They think, I'll open a gym or a fitness studio and go and change lives. And then reality hits. The fitness industry has one of the highest failure rates of any business. You know why? Because people quit. Your members sign up in January full of motivation, and then by March, half of them are gone. You're dealing with consistent churn, right? Which means you're always hunting for new members just to replace the ones that you lost. And the overhead is brutal. Rent for gym space, guys, is expensive, right? Then you have equipment cost, which is tens of thousands of dollars. You have insurance is going through the roof right now for gyms. And you need certified trainers who don't work cheap if they're any good at all. So you're competing with big box gyms like Planet Fitness that charge $10 a month, and then boutique studios that have venture capital backing and can afford to lose money for years while they build out their brand. So unless you have a rock solid business plan and serious capital and a way to retain members long term, you're gonna struggle. And most fitness entrepreneurs end up working 60-hour weeks just to break even. Business number 1, restaurants. Here's the absolute worst business for you to start: opening a restaurant. People watch cooking shows and they love food, so they think, I could do this better. And then they dive in headfirst without understanding the reality. But here's the truth. 60%, guys, of restaurants fail within their first year. And 80% fail within just 5 years. But you want to know why? Because the margins are razor thin and the overhead is massive. You've got rent, utilities, equipment, staff, food cost, licenses, right? Your insurance for the building and the business. And on top of all of that, you're competing with every other restaurant in your area, plus all these delivery apps that are charging 30% commissions and eating into your already thin profits. So you need a ton of capital just to get started. And even if you do everything right, one bad Yelp review or one slow month can put you under. And let's talk about the time commitment of all this for a second. You're working 70 to 80 hours a week. You're there early and you're there late, right? You're managing staff, all of their drama, dealing with health inspections from the city, right? And handling upset customers all the time. At the end of the day or the month, after you pay everybody and everything that you owe, you might walk away with less than you were making at your corporate job. I'm not saying that it can't be done. There are successful restaurant owners out there, but for every one of them that makes it, there are 10 that don't, and most of them wish somebody had warned them before they signed that lease. Let me leave you with some data, okay, that will put all of this into perspective for you. According to the BLS, guys, about 20% of small businesses fail within the first year. 50% fail within 5 years, and 65% fail within 10 years. But when you look at these specific industries, the numbers get even worse. Restaurants have an 80% failure rate within 5 years. Retail stores aren't far behind. They're at 60% in that same time frame. Fitness studios see 80% of new gyms close within the first year alone. Here's why. All of these businesses have massive overhead and razor-thin margins. You're constantly bleeding money before you even open your doors. And once you're open, you're fighting for customers in oversaturated markets where competition is brutal. But here's what all these failing businesses have in common. They couldn't generate enough customers consistently. That's the real problem. You can have the best product or the best service or the best location, but if you can't generate customers reliably, you're going to fail. And that's the difference between businesses that survive and businesses that don't. Here's what you need to understand about business. Customers are the one thing that keep all businesses alive. Without customers, nothing else matters. You can have the best team, the best systems, the best capital in the world, guys. But if you can't generate customers, you've got nothing. If you can generate customers for businesses, you control everything. You're not betting on a product or a location or a market trend, right? You're building a skill that every business on the planet needs to survive. Think about it for a second. The businesses that fail do so because they can't consistently generate customers. The ones that succeed have figured out how to bring in customers to their doors reliably. That's why the smartest entrepreneurs don't build businesses around products or services anymore. They build businesses around customer generation. Because when you control the customer, you control the income. You set the terms, right? You're not at the mercy of overhead or inventory or staff drama anymore. You own the asset that generates the demand, and businesses will pay you monthly to access it. That's the strongest position that you can be in as an entrepreneur. So here's my challenge to you. Stop chasing shiny objects. Stop romanticizing businesses that sound good but don't make sense financially, and start building something that actually works. I put together a free training that shows you exactly how to generate customers for businesses, and you'll get paid for it. It's called the digital leasing model, and it's how I'm making over $41,000 a month. I'm showing you how to build lead generation websites and rank them in Google, and then lease them out for reoccurring income to businesses that need customers. This is the exact same system my students are using to build financial freedom. The training is completely free, and the link is in the description below. Stop wasting time on businesses that are designed to fail. Start building something that gives you control. Let's go build something that lasts.